Hi Levies, today we're getting into Matthew chapter 7. This chapter is rich and multifaceted and continues Jesus' Sermon on the Mount. In verses 1 through 6, Jesus warns against judging others, saying, "Stop judging others and you will not be judged," which is in Matthew chapter 7 verse 1. He highlights the hypocrisy of noticing the speck in someone else's eye while ignoring the plank in one's own eye. This section encourages self-examination and humility. Jesus then talks about the power of prayer and persistence, encouraging his followers to ask, seek, and knock. He reassures them of the goodness of God, saying, "How much more will your Father in heaven give good gifts to those who ask him?" which is in Matthew chapter 7 verse 11. This section concludes with the golden rule, "So in everything do to others what you would have them do to you," which is Matthew chapter 7 verse 12. Then in verses 13 through 14, Jesus speaks about the path to life being a narrow gate, suggesting the difficulty of the righteous path compared to the broad gate that leads to destruction. He then warns against false prophets who come in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are wolves, in verses 15 through 20. He advises that true prophets will be recognized by their fruits, good fruits indicating authenticity and beauty. He says in verse 20, "Yes, the way to identify a tree or a person is by the kind of fruit that is produced." Then he says not everyone who calls him Lord will enter the kingdom of heaven, but only those who do the will of his Father. Jesus warns that many will claim to do miraculous works in his name, yet he will declare to them, "I never knew you, depart from me, you evildoers," which is in Matthew chapter 7, verse 23. Jesus concludes this chapter with the parable of the wise and foolish builders, emphasizing the importance of putting his teachings into practice. He says in verse 24, "Anyone who listens to my teaching and obeys me is wise, like a person who builds a house on a solid rock." This chapter encapsulates vital aspects of Christian life, emphasizing sincere faith, genuine practice of Jesus' teachings, and the heartfelt relationship between individuals and God. Jesus' teachings in this passage call for introspection, diligence in prayer, and authenticity in living out one's faith. I'll be back again tomorrow with chapter 8. I love you and Jesus loves you more. Bye!